Now, the secure attachment is the most common attachment, but there, of course, we're thinking about it from an equitable standpoint. You know what? All kids aren't the same. Traumatic events and experiences can impact the way a child's attachment occurs, and as a result, you might get different forms. Now, ideally, yes, we do want our students to have the secure attachment. And then on the extreme other side, if you will, is the disorganized. Again, a lot of that comes from their attachment to the caregiver. So why does this have to do with education? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Thank you for paying attention and thanks for asking that question, because here's the thing. Teachers who spend more time with children face to face than anyone else often become the most significant individuals in their students' lives. They provide a vital source of security and stability, especially for students who are already carrying the weight of feeling rejected. Now, the thing about students, and I talk about biases because when it comes to being a teacher and you're wanting to be the best teacher that you can be, we have to start with our own self-awareness. We have to do that work and say, you know what, as much as I hate to say this, because you'll hear that comment, oh, I treat all my students the same. As much as we want to say it, we don't want to say it sometimes. We got the kids that are our favorites, for whatever reason. Maybe we have a good relationship with them. Maybe they're straight A students. Maybe they're funny to make us laugh. Maybe we have a connection in which, as students to teacher ratios, there's interest. Maybe we watch the same movies, music, things like that. So we spend a lot of time with our students from that K-12, pre-K to 12. Our kids with us 7-8 hours a day. And so over time, those relationships have to develop. So we're supposed to provide a source of security, stability, especially for students who already carry the weight of feeling rejected. Now, as a result, here's the thing. When we assess the biases, there's a halo bias and then there's a horns bias, for example. Right now, the halo bias, that is the bias in which, you think about the most popular students. Maybe it's via charismatic attributes. Maybe, again, great in academics. Maybe they're really good in sports, whatever it is. It's almost as if those students can walk on water. They have that halo, but arguably, I wouldn't even say arguably. What happens when we pay all this attention to those certain students that are, again, quote unquote popular students, and we don't pay attention to the students who need the most support? But we're spending all our time writing glowing and just these recommendations for college, and we're inviting the scouts out to watch their games. But there's some students that aren't getting the love, support that they need. They're damn near invisible. So when we're talking about, again, going back to the formula, accepted, supported, and included, what happens to those students that aren't considered the halo bias within that halo bias is the horns. So although I have this quote here that talks about the importance of our students, what happens, there's a caveat, because there's so many school norms, right? So all the students that follow within the school policies, the spoken rules and the unspoken rules, all those different things, there's many students that don't fit within that line.